from scratch before. It just never tastes good.
Really?
What an opening line.
It never tastes good.
I know. It's like, you know.
May I
fuck...
draw your attention to the banner at the bottom of the screen?
I like it. I
John
saw it.
on first of his name. I just remember that he's the fucking crown prince.
Yeah,
and that is why I did
every fucking time I repress that. Every time.
I kind of forgot about that, to be honest with you.
Right, I think there's other shit I forgot because it's been we haven't done this since like first week of December. So what the hell else?
No, we did it only a week ago.
It has not been a week ago, has it? It wasn't a week ago.
It wasn't last year. Get it last year because
fuck off.
Never mind.
I actually don't remember.
Last month, the 19th of December is the last time you sent me the link.
Yeah, it's last year.
Okay.
Yeah, last year. Shit. Oh man, so how are you guys doing? You know, I just found out my brother got COVID today, so you know that's my big fucking oof. I hope he's okay. Like, luckily, you know, he hasn't been around the house for a while, so
it'll be fine.
Hopefully.
Hello, Pucelle.
Hey, Pucelle. How's that all-nighter going for you?
I don't even think I'd be able to give a recap, to be honest, with how long it's been.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so without remembering too much of the last chapter, I do remember a bit of what happened in the first chapter, which is that the seven resurrected Jon Snow after he died at Castle Black. Then they were like, all right, we're gonna like send you the father. Like, each of them came up and gave him random boons to make him overpowered. And the father comes up and says, I'm going to send you 2 Dilfs to help you along in your journey. And so when Jon wakes up and he's back at fucking Winterfell and Bobby V is coming up, Stannis and Tywin decide to come with him. And so then Jon, being the fucking galaxy brain that he is, decides to lure Stannis to the tower so that he can catch Jaime and Cersei, you know, doing the do. And then for some reason Barristan Selmy decides to go with them. And then like Barristan gets Tywin to go with them. Now remember, Tywin is one of the gifts that the father was like, all right, he'll help you with your journey. So what happens is that they go into the tower, they hear Jaime and Cersei fucking, and Tywin just goes ballistic and fucking impales Cersei on his sword, and then Barristan immediately cuts his head off. So, like, you know, like, fucking Tywin wouldn't have died if Jon hadn't had that gift from the father. So, fuck, it was so stupid. Then Bobby B comes by. He finds out that he was the victim. He was the main character in a fucking NTR manga for the last, I don't know, 20 years of his life. I don't know how fucking old Joffrey is. And so he's like, all right, Jon, you're now Hand of the King. How would you deal with this situation? And I forget what the hell Jon does, but it ends with Bobby B making him the fucking prince, the crown prince of Westeros.
Jon decides the punishment is to send Tommen and Joffrey to the wall, and Jaime, of course, and to make Tyrion Lord of Casterly Rock with Myrcella as his heir, and to marry Myrcella and Bran Stark.
Oh, and Tyrion did not raise objections to any of this. Oh, and they also sent...
and to send Tywin's preserved head to Dorne as a peace offering. Which Tyrion also did not have objections with.
All right, and oh yeah, the fucking unicorns and centaurs is what happened last time. I forgot. Okay, so last time they were in the north.
Oh no, you skipped a bit.
I skipped a bit because I wasn't here for
In
most
the
of chapter
second
2.
chapter,
Remember, I wasn't
we
here for
got
chapter 2.
Joffrey's ignoble demise. Sansa, the naive little summer child that she is, was still besotted with Joffrey. And when she called him her sweet prince, he slapped her. And so her little direwolf pup, it's just a pup, it's not even grown yet, decides to bite off Joffrey's arm.
Just absolutely
Yeah,
fucking
that's right,
rips
that's
it
right.
off. No trouble at all.
And Bobby V just stands there watching his former son bleed to death in the mud.
Oh my gosh. And then
What a great story.
the next chapter, I think, is when Jon decides to go to the north. Oh yeah, and they get Ramsay Snow killed in the north. Like, they bring him up so that they can kill him off. He gets killed by whites. Then they go into a fucking random cave in the middle of nowhere. And I forget how the hell it happens, but somehow it comes out that, hey, Jon is Aegon Targaryen. And Stannis is standing right there, and he's like, yeah, fuck my brother.
It's because Benjen was dying, and he started revealing all of the stuff that happened in the past.
Oh, yeah. And then it turns out that they're not only, like, they're in Bloodraven's cave, and it was so rad. It was just like, Jon sees a flash of red from across the cave, and it's like, it's supposed to be Bloodraven opening his eyes or some shit, and just immediately fucking sprints across and kills him. Like, it's one sentence. Just, Bloodraven doesn't even get the fucking chance to speak. Like, he can't even open his mouth, and Jon just fucking murders him. And then everything, like, they describe the cave as being covered in bones, and everything starts, like, getting resurrected. I don't know fucking how. Like, everything starts resurrecting, and so there's like Benjen turns into a half giant because he was sitting on a giant skull, and it healed him instead of resurrecting the giant.
Christ.
But the best part is, like, I don't know if you guys were here for the King of Magic, but there was a very memorable scene where Harry and his hoes are just randomly getting given their familiars, and they're just like, they're walking out there with like an entire zoo full of animals each, and that's pretty much what happened here. Like, everyone becomes a warg, everyone gets these different animals. Like, what the fuck did Jon get? Like, a unicorn.
Here is Bloodraven's end.
Jesus.
Man,
His introduction and his end.
Yeah, just immediately, not even a chance to speak. But the worst part is the fucking unicorns, which are like fantasy unicorns and not like Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire unicorns. And also
And
the
the Valyrian
centaurs.
steel swords.
I forgot about
Including
those.
Dark Sister.
I forgot about those. I just remember the damn centaurs. Like, dead ass. I think the one centaur is just like,
dragon eggs too.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, so at first I was like, dude, I like earlier on in the stream I had said 100% he's gonna bring back dragon eggs. So when I saw that, I was like, shit, I was right, you know, like, that's awesome, you know, I called it. And then they just keep giving him more shit afterwards. Yeah, they want to bond with you. There's like a fucking bear, a fucking unicorns, and then you have the fucking centaurs come in like in a second. And
Stannis, I am not a warg. You are now.
Dude, I'm gonna use your fiction room to post shit. Because I 100% am calling that this is who they're using as the centaur. So Infant and Pusala are in here, so I'll ping them. This is 100% what they're using as the centaur. I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
The description is
I think
spot
that's
on.
enough. I think that's enough recap. We've been going 10 minutes now. It's time to start chapter 4. Margaery won.
Centaurs, for God's sake.
Margaery. Yes.
My
Margarine.
lord. Margaery outwardly focused on spreading jam on her toast when she was truly focused upon Lord Renly Baratheon and the raven his maester presented him. He read it and was pleased by whatever it said. He was soon grinning so large she could identify the food he had been chewing. That's nasty. At least he had the manners to swallow before he began to laugh. Not that that meant much when the way his head was thrown back. Renly was cackling like a loon. Margaery exchanged a look with her brother Loras across the table. Loras looked just as confused by his lover's behavior as she was, but that was no comfort. Her father wanted her to entice Renly into marriage, and her grandmother was not opposed to the match since everyone knew King Robert wanted a Stark girl for his son. A Stark girl for each of them if he could get them. But the more she learned about Lord Baratheon of Storm's End, the less interested in the match she was. Mostly because she wanted children. A husband that refused to join her in the marriage bed would never provide her such. She did not begrudge her brother his relationship with the Lord. It simply made her lack of compatibility with him entirely evident. The idea of compatibility in a medieval society.
You dumb bitch.
My lord, she prompted Renly when he was as red in the face as her preferred currant jam. My apologies, he wheezed and struggled to get himself back under control. It appears my brother's sweet children are not, in fact, his children, but those of his wife and his wife's brother. How was this discovered? Loras asked. His face was a study of shock. Caught them red-handed, they did. Renly snorted some more.
Did he just turn into fucking Yoda? Caught them red-handed, they did.
Caught them red-handed, they did.
Out of incest they were
No.
born.
Queen Cersei is dead, killed by her own father, and Sir Jaime has been sentenced to life at the Wall. Margaery blinked. The king was without a queen. That was a golden opportunity. Okay, Margaery going full gold digger.
But isn't she messing with her broke? No. Not gonna finish that line.
Oh, my little staglings. Bless you, my little staglings. What the fuck?
I
That's
don't
really
even
stupid.
know.
By the way, Pussel, if you fucking ever say the word sparkling in your Transformers fic, I will block you, okay? Just like whenever I see something and it's like elfling, stagling, sparkling, any of that shit, it just pisses me off. It's so stupid. I don't know why they feel like adding lings onto the end of words.
Laura
Like
shot her a
TikTok.
troubled look and she tipped her head to one side. They would discuss it privately and decide what to do, but they needed more information first. She was familiar with these types of staglings, spies. Her grandmother called her spies her thorns. Lord Varys called his spies his little birds. She did not know the name Peter Baelish had given his spies around Westeros, but she knew they were almost as effective as her grandmother's thorns. If she were home in Highgarden, her grandmother would likely have the entire story already, rather than the dribbles of information Renly tolerated. Thankfully, Renly's little staglings came through for them regardless.
Are they trying to make Grenly sound like a pedophile?
I mean,
We
Yes.
have it confirmed, Renly told them at luncheon. Sir Jaime confessed. Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen are his children, not Robert's. I am the heir to the Iron Throne. Oh, poor Renly.
Get fucking cucked.
He doesn't know about John. His spies aren't very good. They didn't get the full story. Margaery thought it was a little beyond the pale how pleased Renly was by his brother's misfortune, and short-sighted as well. There was a whole nother brother between Renly and the Iron Throne that he was forgetting, and Stannis was not the type to yield. Not to anyone. His stubborn refusal to surrender Storm's End to her father during Robert's rebellion was proof enough of that. Stannis had held his family's keep even though it nearly killed him. Even though it did kill many members of the Baratheon household through starvation. How Renly could forget that when he was one of the few to survive the siege, she could not imagine. But that was his failing, not hers.
I like how she's wanking Stannis.
Right?
Can't wait for the Margaery Stannis fix. Of
Oh,
which I'm
God.
certain there are already many.
Joffrey and Tommen have been officially declared bastards, Renly crowed at dinner that night, and they must take the black. What does Lord Tywin have to say about this? She asked, because she could not imagine the old lion being quiet while his family was thrown into irrevocable disgrace. No, irrecoverable disgrace. Lord Tywin says nothing because Lord Tywin is dead. Renly said it like it was somehow obvious. You did not tell us that, Loras objected. Renly waved him off. It was his party that discovered the queen getting fucked by her brother. He killed his daughter in a rage. Sir Barristan killed Lord Lannister for raising hand to the queen. Then who is Lord of Casterly Rock? The imp! Renly laughed and slapped his knee. How embarrassing. Can you believe it? She failed to see what was funny or embarrassing about that. Lord Tyrion was everything the lord of a great house should be. Intelligent, cunning, hardworking, loyal.
Now she's
How does she
wanking
know
Tyrion.
any of that?
Isn't she kind of shallow at this point in the canon? Like, she's still kind of foolish, like young.
We don't know her at this point of canon.
I like how the conversation is taking place over like parts of the day rather than, you know, an actual scene.
Yeah, it's snippets of conversation throughout the day. It's not a single scene.
It's like written like a single scene, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, what the fuck? They should have more breaks in it, because it is kind of confusing. If you hadn't called my attention to it, I thought it would have just been like the same fucking scene.
No, it's as Renly is getting the information, it's giving us the conversation around that point in time. But it's not making it clear that there's time jumps. There was no shame in having a disadvantageous height. She destroyed men larger than her regularly when they deserved it.
What?
And she was more effective about it than Loras' strength of arms could ever be.
What?
What?
What are you talking about? What is this?
I don't know.
Also, how is Tyrion viewed as a hardworking guy when his entire reputation is about him being a whoremonger?
Right?
Well, he's working hard.
Okay.
It's hard for the working girls.
Yep.
Zero's just backing out of this fucking conversation.
I understand. I pick up what you're putting down.
Well, Tyrion's definitely putting down something.
For fuck's sake.
Being underestimated was an advantage that oft-served her well, and she knew Lord Tyrion was the same. He named Stark's bastard his heir! Renly thundered the next morning at breakfast. He picked up the pitcher of apple nectar and threw it. Then he followed it with a plate of eggs, the rack of toast, and her pot of jam. When that was not enough for him, Renly upended the entire table he and Loris had been sitting at. He's throwing a little tantrum.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? It's like that. It's almost like that Yakuza meme where it's like Kiryu just slams his hand on the table and just like.
No. What it's reminding me of is the scenes in the new Star Wars movies when Kylo Ren throws a tantrum.
Those are Mandalore's favorite movies, you know.
Oh, I'm obviously. We're both probably going to get muted in Heart of the Force for saying that.
I'll take it.
He continued wrecking the room like the very Storm's End had been constructed to withstand. I'm afraid Father has fallen ill, she said softly enough only Loris should be able to hear her over the ruckus. It was their code for we need to leave with all haste. Her brother nodded. Recent developments must have played merry hob with his balance. Never heard that.
Merry hob. Let me investigate.
I'm gonna guess it's a
English dictionary for learners.
cause disruption.
Reverso dictionary. I've never come across this word in my life.
I'll be British.
So it's
Or
play hob
Australian.
with is Middle English hob, a diminutive of robin, and consequently the devil, like hobgoblin. To
Like
mess with it.
spider.
I think
Cause
this person looked
disruption.
into a fucking dictionary and pulled this out of their ass, because I've never come across this word before, and I have read a shit ton in my life. So it's rare for me to come across like a random word I haven't heard of.
Hello, Ryle.
Hello.
Ours is the theory indeed.
I read that as
Oh,
furry
God.
at first. Ours is the furry. Oh my goodness.
Hello, balls. I don't know what water has to do with anything, but okay.
I think that he's talking more about like John in this.
Oh. Margaery silently agreed. Recent events had clearly played hell on Renly's mental balance. That much was clear. She was not interested in a husband whose first reaction to bad news was violence. Renly's reactions had been unreasonable from the beginning, and they needed to get out of Storm's End before the bootlickers and lickspittles he surrounded himself with got them all entangled in something none of them would survive. They rode for Grassy Vale that very day, and Renly was in too much of a twist to notice. From Grassy Vale, they took a barge down the Mander River, as it was the fastest way to reach Highgarden. The other option took them overland through the Red Mountains, too close to haunted Summerhall and the Dornish marches for any Reacher's comfort. They did not have nearly enough guards with them to make such a trip in safety, and the mountains themselves would add a moon to their travel alone. Well, enjoy your cold water balls.
Ball. Okay.
Had to get a drink.
I like how it goes from like a trip instantly to the Highgarden office.
Like telling us about the trip to, oh, the trip's over, we're here.
Hey, go over a bit where it says, as it was the fastest way to reach Highgarden. I thought that was funny because
Yeah.
why would she explain it's the fastest way? She lives there.
My Rose, her grandmother greeted her in her favorite solar in Highgarden after a quick wash and a fresh gown. One of the few things Margaery and her mother had ever truly agreed on was that road dust should never have a prolonged stay on the body once one was done traveling. Grandmother, she gave the Queen of Thorns the curtsy she required, and then took the hug she wanted, despite the older woman's huff. What news? Your oaf of a father has decided to support this Prince John Baratheon's claim to the throne. Lady Olenna pursed her lips together. For once, we are in agreement. I mean, it's not like they have much
Choice, yeah.
choice in the matter.
If the king says
Like,
something,
literally, their only other option is to rebel. Or support Renly, which is also going to be a rebellion, so... it's rebel and support Renly, or rebel and support Viserys and Daenerys.
Gosh, this is just so stupid on such a meta level. Like, Robert has just turned almost all of Westeros against him, not through open rebellion, but like even more so through like opinion. Like the church,
by making a bastard his heir.
Yeah.
Which is what led to the Blackfire rebellions.
A bastard that's completely unrelated to him.
Yes, so technically even worse. No, Stannis is fully supporting Jon, so he's not in the running for the throne. Stannis is fully supporting Jon with the knowledge that Jon is a Targaryen. Yeah. He just doesn't. He doesn't care for some reason.
This is great.
There is to be a tourney in King's Landing to fill out the Kingsguard and help the young prince choose his future queen. Loras is expected to compete and gain himself a spot on the Baratheon Kingsguard to bring our house yet closer to the crown. Margaery focused on her grandmother, silently demanding the news she wanted. Her grandmother huffed but nodded. We sail in 2 days. I have already ordered your ladies to launder your finest gowns and have sent ravens to King's Landing ordering more that had best be available upon our arrival. Do you believe my usual style will entice a northerner? She asked. He is a northerner, is he not? He is, Lady Olenna nodded. The common northern styles are about practicality. There is no practicality to be had in dying in southern heat due to northern fashions. We will be maintaining my current fashion then, she concluded. Correct, Olenna agreed. Now, tell me of Lord Renly. What madness has gripped Storm's End? The kind that leaves a man a head shorter, Margaery said shortly. Last I knew, he had it in his mind to object to his brother's choice of heir through strength of arms, as if such has ever worked when dealing with Robert Baratheon. She has a point. Robert is uncommonly good at winning.
You know, the strange thing about this story is that the dialogue, if it's not like, if it doesn't make sense, like, oh no, let me rephrase. If the characters actually make sense, the dialogue can actually be written pretty well by this person.
When the fuck did Jon become better than Arthur Dayne? I don't remember that.
We haven't reached that part yet, so don't jump ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
no.
Stop. I don't even see
It's
anything like that on my
at the bottom of the
screen.
page here. It's the bottom of the page here. The finest said to rival the sword of the morning.
Look, man, that's not shown
on the screen. You can't read that yet.
You're
not allowed to read that. Close
there,
your
it's
eyes.
not on the screen anymore.
There you go. It doesn't exist. Forget about it.
The king will answer that nonsense with his hammer. Lady Olenna shook her head. Or perhaps Prince John's sword. Is he a fine swordsman? The finest. Said to rival the sword of the morning, if the rumors are worth anything. Margaery blinked. Better than Loras? Loras has never led men on a ranging beyond the wall and lived to tell the tale about it, Olenna said tartly. Prince John is not a knight, my rose. Do not expect such civility of him. He is a battle-blooded warrior of a kind your generation has never seen.
What? What?
How does she even know this?
What the fuck?
He hears rumors from the north of the wall and immediately assumes they're true. Like, this is the sort of
This
speech
is
that
not Olenna. Like, this is
If-
not the Queen of Thorns I'm reading.
if you actually want her to speak like that, she has to see him in battle.
Yeah, she has to see him in person, defeating someone, defeating both Jaime and Barristan at the same time to
With, like, his
even
hand
consider
behind his
him
back or
Arthur
something.
Dayne's equal.
He needs to have some kind of achievement that lets him get this sort of respect, not just like that.
He
Like,
needs
it
to see
doesn't
John
work.
take on 6 guys at the same time.
Like,
It doesn't even need that. Just the two best of the Kingsguard, or the best of the Kingsguard and the former other best.
Pascal's reacting in the fucking Discord. Yeah, it's absolutely stupid.
With northern honor and the might of the Iron Throne behind him, he is going to change our world.
Dude, John in this fic is not honorable. I've seen nothing honorable from him so far.
Plus, why would she think he's honorable? He's a bastard being
Like-
raised to the throne.
Because he's Ned Stark's son.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's literally the only explanation I can give. If he does not get murdered trying, Margaery countered bitterly, we will simply have to make sure your prince survives to be your king. Margaery smiled at her grandmother. I will drink to that. The year changed to 299 AC before they reached King's Landing for Prince John's tourney. I hate seeing that within a fic.
Yeah.
People in Game of Thrones don't think about the year the way we do.
How do they think about the year?
Like they don't. Like they think, how long has this winter been? How many years has it been since Robert's Rebellion? Like they don't have.
They
like
don't use a
date.
calendar.
Yeah.
Wow, they're like, that's just really stupid. You kind of need a calendar for shit.
Yeah, the only people
No,
who
like they
don't use
have a calendar. They don't have.
Yeah, but you still
They
need
just
kind of
don't
a
think
dating
of it
system.
in terms of how we have BC and AD.
I know, but like even the ancient civilizations that didn't have BC and AD systems had dating systems. Like the Romans had AUC, Ab Urbe Data, which is from the founding of the city. But they'd also
These
mark the year
people
by
do
saying, like, in the year of the consulship of Gaius and Marnius, like individual years would be.
No, I'm not saying they don't. Like they don't. I'm saying they don't. They're not going to say something like this or think something like this.
Probably. But isn't this just the
Like,
narrator saying this, or is it Marjorie thinking this? Because if it's Marjorie thinking about it, then yeah, it doesn't make sense. But if it's the narrator saying this for the reader, then it does make sense. Because
the narration in the books doesn't ever go like this, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
You could have easily said the trip took months and the seasons were changing, blah blah blah. Who knows? Like you could word it in a way not to use numbers in a specific way to refer to the calendar.
Yeah. Or even just put a heading
Yeah,
in
299
bold here
AC.
that says 299 AC. That would be better. Because it's letting your reader know that it's what the time frame is without interrupting the flow of the story, like this does in my mind.
Also, here's one. If the year is changing, that means months have passed. And in the previous scene, you have Olenna saying that she's gonna have her servants clean Margaery's clothes months before the fact.
I assume they're being cleaned before being packed up.
Months before. I don't know. It seems kind of weird.
Oh, it's definitely weird.
Maybe, like, what was the alternative dating system? Like your thing you put forward, Myth, again?
Huh?
What was the alternative way of saying it you put forward again?
They don't really have a formal way of doing it unless you're a mason.
Maybe you could say like, oh, it was the second, like it's fall right now, so it's like it was the
Well, no,
second
it's
year of the
still
fall.
summer.
Like,
remember, summer seasons last for years, so they can't really use the seasons.
Well, it literally says the season had changed too in the newborn autumn. So it's like it was the first year of autumn, or some shit. Like, or to use another dating system, or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm getting too hung up on this.
Yeah. But they could have just said moons had passed in the journey to King's Landing.
Yep.
Just anything in my mind is better than that. It's just a personal pet peeve I find in fics. Especially medieval fics. The seasons had changed too, and the newborn autumn was still beautiful, even in this part of the South. Margaery had never been to the capital before. It was smaller than she had expected. The use of red stone was excessive. What?
It's a size queen, okay?
The problem is, I think this is the author's self-insert into Margaery.
How big is King's Landing?
Yeah, the author is definitely self-inserting into Margaery. I'm just gonna fucking call it now.
Yeah. Has an estimated population of 500,000. George R. R. Martin says that it's bigger than Paris or London. Yeah. But it's smaller than Margaery expected.
Well, it's bigger than Paris. Paris has a population of 2 million. Bigger than London. All right, 8 million. Let's see. Medieval London. Let's see how big that was. Okay, 1500 had 120,000 people. Medieval Paris. Medieval Paris. Don't know what the dating is, but like 270,000 people in 1328. So I guess maybe that could work.
Very Targaryen, her mother had said when she had commented on it. She was fairly sure she was sad to have never met a Targaryen. The red was certainly a bold choice. Excessive, yes, but rich and luxurious. She could not quite decide if it crossed into the realm of bad taste or not. I mean, if your first thought is this, that's not a good thought.
It's funny.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
As they rode through the city from the harbor to the tourney ground, she noted there were a number of bare places that seemed to be oddly lacking house sigils hanging upon them. She wondered if that absence was deliberate or perhaps even pointed. She wondered if those were places Lannister sigils used to hang, and now the proprietors were waiting to see the direction the wind was blowing before hanging new sigils. Some
Wondering too
enterprising
much.
proprietors were flying Stark banners, which was probably the safest option short of hanging the Baratheon stag, which very few places did, proving to her mind that the rumors of Baratheon unpopularity in the capital were not unfounded.
Wait, what?
Don't the people love Robert?
Yeah, like what? Why would he be unpopular in his own city?
It's like
The person doesn't like Robert, remember?
he regularly
bashing
throws
him?
feasts and tourneys. The people are going to love him for that reason alone.
I'm
Yeah,
so
there's a reason-
confused here.
There's a reason bread and circuses is such an enduring term.
Why do they like? Why is he supposed to be unpopular? Is what I'm trying to understand here.
I don't know.
The only answer that I keep coming to is he's unpopular because he made a bastard the heir. But if I
Yeah.
say that, why would they be flying Stark banners?
Or that, or there's still lingering Targaryen loyalty, and
Oh, fucking no.
but then it doesn't make sense that they're hanging Stark banners.
Yeah,
What doesn't
I-
make sense is they're hanging fucking it doesn't make sense.
No part of this makes sense at the moment.
Let's see where this takes us.
For-
When the time came for the tourney, she found there were Tyrell banners hung on a section of stands across the lists and to the left of the royal stands. It afforded Margaery the opportunity to watch Prince John without being too obvious about it, for which she was grateful. He was handsome, this dire wolf-turned stag, and leaner than she had expected from a northerner. Vaguely heroic, with two swords crossed over his
Vaguely heroic.
He was sullen and
Yeah,
guarded,
that's
but smiles
fucking
chased across his face, like flashes of lightning when he spoke to Lord Tyrion, or stroked the direwolf that came up to his seated thigh, despite the fact that it was laying upon the ground. She had never seen such a large creature outside of a horse, and a horse did not have such teeth. Prince John did not seem to have much time for her cousin Desmara Redwine when she stopped by his box for a chat, and he did not even look at Jane Westerling when she bent over in front of him to show her assets to their best vantage. Twice, the tart.
This is so fucking horrible.
Marjorie's doing the exact same thing that Jane is gonna do, and then she's like, "Yeah, she's a tart."
This is a Jane Westerling.
Oh man, I'm a little tiny horny honey.
Oh, oh god.
I think we're starting to overuse that clip. We might need to find.
I mean,
I love it.
that's how she got Rob to marry her in canon.
She showed him her boobs.
Yep. Which is making me once more think that he's going by book knowledge, by book canon. Because Jane Westerling doesn't exist in the show.
Yep.
She was just starting to wonder how she could possibly gain his attention when his eyes met hers from across the lists. She gave him her best coy, flirtatious smile. He looked shocked to see her. His mouth honestly fell open in surprise.
Oh, for fuck's
And he
sake! This is
gained his feet
obviously
without
an
taking his
obvious
eyes off of her. Okay, never mind. It's not Jane Westerling. It's John.
Oh man, I'm a little tiny horny honey. This is so fucking stupid. So obviously, author is self-inserting herself into Margaery Tyrell.
Yep, obviously.
Oh my gosh, it's so fucking stupid.
He can't take his eyes off of her. You're just jealous.
It's baffling. that.
You want his eyes on you.
She literally made him drop his jaw.
It's baffling that the author who
I wouldn't be
literally
surprised
women
if he's
does not know how
drooling
women
right
act.
now. He frowned thunderously and looked down. Lord Tyrion had his hand on Prince John's arm and was explaining something to him Prince John clearly did not appreciate. But Prince John nodded, accepting the advice of the hand of the king, and turned to one of the king's guard. She exchanged a pleased look with her grandmother when the young Stormland knight gave his prince a half bow and left the royal box. It was a pleasure, but not a surprise, when the young knight appeared before her. "My Lady Margaery." "Yes, kind sir." "I am Sir Roland Storm," he said politely enough. "Prince John has invited you to join him in the royal box, if it pleases you, with anyone you wish to accompany you." It pleased her very much, actually, and she pretended to think about it. "It would please me," she agreed and stood. "Grandmother?" Yes, of course." Lady Olenna stood, and Sir Roland offered her his arm. It surprised both Olenna and Margaery that the Kingsguard offered Olenna his arm. He answered to the prince, and his assignment was Margaery. Most knights in that situation would have offered Margaery their arm, despite her grandmother's greater need. Margaery wondered if this was a reflection of the choice Prince John would have made in Sir Roland's place, or if Sir Roland was simply an extraordinary individual. Prince John stood to greet them. "My ladies." "My prince," she blushed up at him. Prince John just looked amused. He helped Lady Olenna into a chair with actual arms and a back. A much better arrangement for her aging body than the benches the rest of the crowd was seated on. He gestured to the one beside his empty chair and only regained his seat once she was upon it. "You are Lady Margaery of House Tyrell?" he asked politely. "I am, your grace." "Tell me about your family," he ordered. "Please."
What? This is so dumb. Tell me about
She honestly
your family.
smiled this time. What?
Wouldn't he have like done research on the family, like to just
He
instantly,
should have, yes.
like as soon as the conversation starts, he's like, "Tell me about your family."
John just
She
kind
is.
of forgot to do research on the family.
You're
he kinda
welcome,
forgot.
Moskill.
Oh,
Oh yeah, boss.
he's regretting.
Yeah, save yourself while you can.
Stay.
She honestly smiled this time. He was endearing in an awkward sort of way. "I am the youngest of 7 children. The only one of my parents' children that is not a twin." "What?
7?
Twins? What?"
I don't know. Let me think. Loris, Willis, Marjorie.
Willis, Loris, and Margaery.
That's it. What about the other 4?
Yeah. I'm so... When the old gods make a perfect being, they have no need to repeat themselves, he said sincerely.
Oh, for fuck's sake, they're slapping gods onto it as the catch-all for why this fic is shit.
That's such a cringeworthy line.
I mean, it's
She was
Willis,
charmed.
Garland, Loris, and Marjorie. There's no more.
Garland, Willis, Loris, and Marjorie.
No.
I forgot about
Right.
Garland.
Yeah, we all forget
Yeah,
about
she only has
Garland.
3 brothers.
Yeah, she doesn't have 6 brothers.
Where's the other 3 coming from?
Out of the author's ass.
She was charmed. My oldest brother, Willis, is overseeing Highgarden with his twin, Garland. They are not twins. My youngest older brother, Sir Loris, is here competing for a place on the King's Guard. My parents are walking the tourney fair, and my grandmother is, of course, here with me. We have missed 3 brothers, by my reckoning, he said, not distracted.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Loris's older twin, David, went to the Citadel as a young boy. He begged and begged until our parents let him go. His chain will be longer than he is tall before he swears his macer's oath.
I can literally feel the will to live being sucked out of my bones. How does she do it? Like,
honestly,
my arms are becoming heavy.
This one I can accept because a brother going to the Citadel isn't outside the realm of possibility. Let's see how she does with the other 2. He gave her a smaller smile than she wanted for her rueful tone, but that was fine. She could work for such a lovely sight. And the other 2? We do not discuss Baron and Jaxar, she admitted. They died not long after I was born. An accident, I believe, though I do not know all of the details.
I guess
that must have made your brother... What?
I guess there was like relatively high childhood mortality among, young people back in medieval times. So, like, what do you think that gets a pass, or?
But the fact that it's 3 sets of twins and then Margaery.
Yeah, no, the twin shit is weird.
There's
if it wasn't twins, it would be more acceptable. Like 3 sets of twins.
Even in families where twins are common, they're not that common.
That poor woman who has to give birth to 3 sets of twins.
And on top of that, a twin birth is dangerous for the mother.
Yeah, it's the thing. Like in medieval setting, one time I can accept that something would have gone wrong the other 2 times. Fuck no, Pussel. If this fic is me, you're riding dog shit, and stop listening to the stream.
You should keep listening.
Yes, keep listening.
This is motivation to not write like this, or else we'll turn to you on stream.
That must have made your brother Willis's accident all the more frightening for your family. She nodded, but let the subject drop. Thankfully, he did not chase it. Here comes Loris now, she offered after a moment of extended silence. He has a good seat, Prince John commented idly. Then he turned and focused on her. Will you judge me harshly if I admit to knowing nothing about jousting? What? She laughed in surprise. He shrugged, unbothered by her mirth. Knights and tournaments are a southern nonsense. Surely you have cavalry in the north. Well, yes, but not like this. The horse flesh is beautiful, of course, but this almost seems like an art.
The horse flesh?
What the fuck is that? Like, what does he mean by that?
Let me look it up. Never seen that before.
The fuck?
What?
Flesh.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Flesh.
Yeah, no, I think fucking man flesh from fucking Lord of the Rings. Like
it's horses considered collectively.
Back on the menu, boys.
Oh god. But yeah, like he's looking at it's like saying a gaggle of geese. This is kind of that.
It is, she agreed. Men and boys spend their entire lives studying jousting in order to perform well in tournaments such as this. For honor and glory, he rolled his eyes. In the north, we fight for hearth and home. Honor and glory are for bards and their nonsense. You are a rather practical fellow, she observed. Northerner, he said darkly. Then he, honestly, shook himself out of his mood. Educate me, my lady, if you please. Gladly, she agreed as she leaned in to explain the rules to him. He was surprisingly beautiful for a northerner. When his eyes sparkled with mirth, would swear they were purple. But she wrote that off as a flight of fancy caused by her earlier discussion of Targaryens with her grandmother. Dragon blood did not mix with the blood of the first men. Everyone knew that.
What?
What?
When was that said?
Just now,
I see what
apparently.
she's trying to do. She's trying to make Jon's existence even more special.
I know, but like, this is like Underworld all over again.
When Loras won the joust and the crown of red roses, it surprised no one when he brought the crown to her. It had pleased Jon, obviously, based on the wide grin he bore as he put the crown on her head for her, crowning her the queen of love and beauty himself. I'm pretty sure wasn't Bloodraven's mother a Blackwood, which does have blood of the first man?
Yep. His mom is Melissa Blackwood.
Yeah. And the Blackwoods descend from the first men, so
Pretty much.
yeah.
Their
Just
literal
slap the gods
sigil.
on it and say that's why.
Their quite
No.
literal sigil is a heart tree.
Good choice, my son, King Robert crowed from the higher level behind them. Prince Jon bowed to his adopted father and turned to Loras. They shook hands, thanking each other profusely for Jon, before Jon sat back down beside her. The look Loras shot Prince Jon's backside told her exactly how much he approved of her choice.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh shit.
She glared at him to keep his eyes to himself, and her brother shrugged sheepishly. Would your brother be interested in a place on the Kingsguard? Jon asked her. Truly, knowing it comes with a vow of chastity. You caught his look then, she asked in surprise.
What?
I am northern,
What?
not dead.
What? What the fuck is this?
He saw him looking at his
What is
butt.
going on?
No,
Look,
and
he's
he is
don't
roll
exactly
his
my brother's
eyes.
preference.
And he is exactly my brother's preference.
What
Oh.
the
What the
fuck?
fuck is going on?
Is Rob,
Okay, I can
it-
accept everything else, but one thing I fucking
Red
hate
Roach
is
is
this.
gay. Red Roach is gay, guys.
And that's he's
That's
talking
why-
about Renly, but even that doesn't make any fucking sense because Renly's not his brother.
He's
Ah!
talking about Red Roach.
But that makes no sense because Rob is fucking straight. He literally lost a war because he was straight.
Is he though?
Maybe
I
he's
think-
talking about Bran?
I
Or-
think he likes the pee-pee in this one.
Oh, I hate this bitch. The fucking person who wrote this fic.
I think he
I
likes
can't
that
even get a
old.
fucking
He
deep breath in. His,
he enjoys that old meat spin, if you know what I'm talking about.
Shut the fuck up, Zero, you piece of
I
shit.
don't blame you, Moskill. I don't blame you at all.
You know what anime you should watch? Yuri on Ice.
You should watch Boku no Pico. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't leave us here, Moss, please.
Shall we go on a walk? I would like to check on the progress in the Red Keep's Godswood, but I am not ready to end our conversation. She stood to indicate her willingness. What is being done in the Red Keep's Godswood? Just, you don't need to repeat this. Just what is being done there.
Yep.
Green men have come from the God's Eye to give me a proper weirwood heart tree. They are the only ones with the magic yet to grow a new weirwood, and King Robert agreed to allow it. A large,
Agreed to
sleek
allow it?
black horse stopped in their path, and John reached out to pat the horse's shoulder. When he turned to look at her, she saw the horse had a large horn sitting on his forehead like a crown. It was a deep silver with a slightly upward curve. From where she stood, she could see it was sharp enough to cut a man. He also had 2 small nubs of bone that glittered like gems, the upper one larger than the lower. They sat below his horn like stars upon his forehead. His name is Swift, John told her as he rubbed the horse's nose. He bonded with me while we were beyond the wall. He is beautiful, she breathed and held out her hand for the unicorn's consideration. What do you mean he bonded with you? John eyed her for a moment, and she let him. Swift had decided he liked her, and was lipping her hand affectionately. I am a warg, a skin changer they call it beyond the wall, he eventually admitted. This is northern magic? Not solely. Prince John shook his head. Lord Stannis bonded with a great stag, and Sir Roland another unicorn. In fact, a 4th followed us to Castle Black, and chose Sir Barristan as her companion.
Oh my gosh.
What?
What happened to the fucking centaurs? Like, did Sir Barristan get married to one as well? Like, is that what's going to happen?
The horn on Sir Barristan's mount was not armor, she realized. John chuckled. No. Now, taking a ride with your lady is a northern tradition. Would you do me the honor of riding swift to the keep with me, or is that too scandalous for such a lovely southern maid? Am I your lady? She asked coyly. Only if you wish to be. She liked that answer. She liked it a lot. Then clearly we should scandalize all of King's Landing. Surely not all of it, he argued. May I lift you onto his back? I see no other options for ascending such a height outside of the use of a box, she teased.
No, we were joking about those recommendations, right? Those aren't actually what we're like.
Don't listen to Zero. He secretly loves those recommendations.
Yeah, no,
I love-
Zero's like you
I
should
love
see Zero's
Raylo.
server. You know, like 5 channels to
Raylo
HDI.
forever. Am I right, guys?
XD.
Raw XD Raylo. Can't say that with a straight face.
He picked her up easily, hands comfortable on her hips, and placed her toward the front of the unicorn's large saddle. Then he took hold of the horn in front of her and mounted behind her. Oh ho ho.
He's mountain. He's yeah.
He's mounting behind her.
You need to copy that. Yeah, hell yeah. There we go.
Yep. Oh, I missed a ping in my fiction round. Well, what is Pickle snitching on me about?
Us making fun of Mandalore.
Just fair warning, Pickle is both drunk and pulling an all-nighter. So I'm not sure how what is the word aware she is right now. Like, fuck, is alert the word? No, what the hell is the word? Like,
Lucid?
that's the word, I think.
It is lucid. Kinda. Well, yeah, lucid is basically capable of rational thought and, normal movements versus blackout drunk. Oh, they're still
So
talking.
what was clearing my pings on Discord? There we go. Back to reading.
Yeah, what a great story. He's mounting.
Yeah, he mounted behind her, ready to take her from behind. I should not have said that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck subtlety, I guess. Just like John fucking Margaery in this turn.
When she looked around, Sir Roland was at their side, already mounted upon the purest white horse, unicorn, she had ever seen. Have you ever flown? He asked her. Flown? Like a bird? Not quite. He gave her a teasing smile. Swift has no wings, you see. You are japing, she accused. I am not, Sir Roland. We are prepared, Your Grace. Then to the wind with us. Swift surged forward beneath her. Within a stride, his hooves were no longer making contact with the ground. He ran upward as though he were climbing a hill only he could see, and Sir Roland's mount matched Swift step for step. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're
Their unicorns can fly, apparently.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
yeah.
He doesn't even have to wait for his dragon eggs to hatch to be able to fly.
Fuck this person who wrote this. They are awful. Awful. Awful.
I don't know. I'm
Absolutely
kind of liking this story. I want to see what
The
happens
crowd
next.
cheered below
Yeah,
them. And
you're
she
fucking
looked
sadistic.
down.
Of course you'd like someone making a fool of themselves.
The array of colors was dizzying, and John had to pull her upright before she fell. Once they were easily twice the height of the stands, the pair of unicorns did a pass over the tourney grounds before they turned and made for the Red Keep. Absolutely no attempt at subtlety here.
This is great.
No concern for how some people might freak out seeing a horse fly into the air.
Everybody loved him before he even showed up to King's Landing.
True. Everyone but Renly.
Yeah, Renly just...
Renly's got to be the antagonist. There's got to be someone, and it has to be Renly.
Like, not only did he have to be the antagonist, she is it a chick? I keep forgetting.
Ooh,
I'm laboring under the assumption that yes.
He was made, like, Renly was made into an infant. Just because he's an antagonist now.
Yeah, no, the person writing this is a girl.
Oh, okay.
She had to give Margaery a reason to not be interested in marrying Renly.
Yep.
And Loras a reason to not convince Margaery to want to marry Renly.
I like this story.
She had encountered winds strong enough to make her hair stream behind her before, on the deck of boats. This was nothing like that. It was so much better. And it was cold enough that it made the perfect excuse to cuddle into John's stag-covered chest. She was pleased with the strength she found there, and the gentleness he displayed as he pulled his cloak around her to share his warmth. They did not touch down again until they reached the Red Keep. The courtyard they landed in was full of trees. His godswood, she realized. Prince John lowered her back down from Swift's back as easily as he had placed her there, and she rubbed the unicorn's nose in thanks. That was the most amazing ride of my life, she told Swift softly. I shall always remember this, even if I never get to enjoy such again.
Shut the
Thank
hell up.
you.
He should have said, wait till you get to the bedroom.
Right. As soon as she said this, he should have said, for now.
Yeah. This author does not know how to write guys. You can tell this is what her fantasy of the perfect guy is versus what a guy is.
Dude, this author
Yeah.
doesn't even know how to fucking write women. Do you honestly expect her to know how to write guys?
When she looked up, John was smiling at her softly.
It's just, why is he suddenly like, damn, I'm getting
This is what happens when you write with an idealized view of what things should be, and this is what ends up happening.
This girl obviously yearns for a love at first sight, and so that's what she's writing. It made her feel strange, but she had to admit she liked it. And she liked John for all of his inherent strangeness. And she had no idea what to do with that. Come, he offered her his hand. We will see this business done, and then wander the Queen's garden. I am sure you will find the gardens much more agreeable than my Godswood. She shook his hand. She took his hand, but did not argue. She had always felt out of place in the Godswood of Highgarden. She was not sure why they had a Godswood anymore, as House Tyrell worshipped the Seven, and, as far as she knew, they always had. She found herself even less at ease at the sight of the growing weirwood. Its infant trunk reached out of the ground like a hand of bleeding bone, as though some ancient giant were reaching out, pleading with them to be released from the earth. See, she has moments of brilliance. Like, this is a good line, a good description. I like this.
Blind squirrel can find a nut now and again.
No, this reminds me of Eye of Argon, but like worse.
Oh God, I forgot about Eye of Argon.
Fucking SGO as you guys were finishing up Eye of Argon, but I'm not sure. I think I sat on one stream for like a little bit and then just left.
That was a great stream.
There's a reason that's considered the worst fantasy book of all time.
All right, no, dude. So Pickle in the fucking Discord channel was like, imagine trying to make Game of Thrones into a fairy tale fantasy. Now imagine a fucking like character coming in, knowing it's Game of Thrones, but like they're coming into a fairy tale fantasy version of Game of Thrones, but they're treating it like it's actual canon Game of Thrones. So you just have this really fucking cold-hearted, ruthless motherfucker.
She did not enjoy the thought at all, but the men growing the tree were somehow even worse. They were tall and skeletal with hunched postures. They wore green leather that looked like it could actually be their skin, though she refused to believe it. They wore masks that were antlered and made of sheets of tree bark. She could not see their jaws move as they made words, nor could she describe their voices. Truly, they were strange creatures. She did her best not to listen to John's conversation, and quickly enough he grasped one of the creature's long, spindly forearms and turned his attention back to her. Shall we?
What the hell? What? What were those things? Like, where did they come from?
They're green men from the Isle of Faces.
Oh, okay. Wait, are they on the Isle of Faces right now?
No, they left the Isle of Faces to grow the weirwood.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're the ones that are growing John's new heart tree.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you need.
This is where my ignorance of Game of Thrones comes in, all right?
I mean, honestly, this isn't an ignorance thing. You shouldn't need these guys to grow the trees. It's easier if they do and they know how to nurture them, sure. But it shouldn't be impossible to grow the trees.
Yeah. She took his arm and allowed him to lead her away from all of the strangeness. We shall. Have you met Ghost? He asked as they left the Godswood. Wasn't Ghost sitting beside him when she was invited to his seat, to where he was sitting? Am I remembering incorrectly?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Ghost is over there.
because-
Ghost is over there.
Yep.
The great white direwolf that she had seen at his feet in his box, but had not realized until now had not been there when she entered it. Okay.
What?
In the time it took her to get to his box, Ghost left.
And she didn't notice the big fuck off wolf.
And yeah, she did
walking out
not
of the box.
She did not notice the missing giant wolf.
Somehow Marjorie just didn't see the giant wolf walk out of the box.
She kind of
she kinda forgot.
The wolf was supposed to be there.
Then
We need to get the clip of she kind of forgot.
Oh shit! I can find it. I mean, I won't do it now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll do it now, but like not send it to you now. You just-
Met them in the hall's mere heartbeats after John asked the question. Riding on the wolf's back, between the mountains of his shoulders, was a white kitten with fine black stripes. Oh, is not he darling?
what?
I-
Is that?
I- She asked as she picked up the kitten. I know what she's trying to say. Is he not a darling? Like,
Can you just say, isn't he just a darling?
But it's cute. Look, a kitten.
he was warm when she picked him up. Warmer than he should be. And that warmth flowed up her arms to settle in her chest. Oh, God. Marjorie's gonna be a warg.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You know, I can feel it coming.
When she looked up at John, he was watching her intently. What is his name? Her prince asked. Darling. He liked being called it and insists it is all he will be called. Then she stopped and listened to the words she had just said. What? It seems you have bonded yourself a shadow cat.
Oh,
A
of
what?
course.
She demanded again. Honestly, this is a decent reaction. What? Explains. A what? It's not be willing to comprehend what is going on. Allow me to tell you about the day the House of Stark found a direwolf with exactly 6 cubs suckling at her dead breast. What a thing to share with the woman you're trying to court.
She's into that. The last paragraph was unsettlingly sexual. Which one? The one with the direwolf being sucked? A little sucky suck?
Suckling at her dead
Give me
breast.
that big suck. Hey, Cream.
Hello. Did you say
Let's
cranium?
hope it gets worse then,
No,
just
it's
for
hey,
fun.
Cream.
Remuyon. There.
Cream Elon.
Is that an L or an I?
Oh.
It's an L.
Oh, you're right. Right. I'm fucking blind.
Oh yeah, and Cream is making a Game of Thrones fic that he hasn't updated for a year, sure, but it's still he's making a Game of Thrones fic, so hey, he can.
Like how you like
he can
pointed
get some
out.
pointers from here.
That's an update in here. No, screw you. When have you updated?
What?
When have you updated? Get out of here.
October 7th.
Wow. Yeah, that's been a year.
Fuck off. I'm trying.
6 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, you updated that Naruto. You made that Naruto fic, published it in December. Good fic, by the way.
All right.
This is
They
great.
walked arm in arm through the Red Keep about that day and the changes Ghost had wrought in him as they grew together. Talking, add there. Because, yeah.
This is kind of weird.
By the way, Cream, just so you know, because I know you have your MC like fucking around with Joffrey right now. Joffrey is dead at this point in the fic. So is Tywin. Joffrey got his arm bitten off and he bled to death while Robert watched.
He got his arm bitten off by a baby direwolf.
Yes. By Sansa's baby direwolf at that.
Tywin got decapitated by Barristan Selmy after Tywin walked in on Jaime and Cersei fucking and then stabbed Cersei. And this was like out of nowhere. It was like in this bad of a fucking paragraph that's all happened. It was so weird.
I'm waiting for the escalation in this chapter because it hasn't happened yet.
It would be
And
so weird.
so far it's been 3 for 3.
I mean,
I love how each chapter is like normal, and then it's like fucking goes
normal, crazy, off the rails.
I mean, it's pretty crazy that Jon ignores all the women just to see Margaery.
True, but it's not the off the rails blood and carnage that the previous 3 chapters have had.
That's fair. Maybe. I mean, there's still a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's still time. He told her about the dreams that followed and the mental discipline he required to keep from falling into Ghost's or Swift's mind accidentally. It sounded so foreign, but she knew it was the truth. She could feel Darling in her bones, his joy at finding her, his curiosity about various smells were all hers, as much as her ambitions and plans for the future were his. Anyone that tried to take one of them from the other would learn just how deeply their claws could cut. Even if Darling's claws had quite some growing to do before they became a true threat. The Queen's Garden was lovely when they got there. It had nothing on any given equivalent in Highgarden, of course, but she adored the wide rectangular pool in the center with its water lilies and live decorative fish. She would have to suggest fish to her grandmother because these were brilliant, darting about in the most vibrant tones she had ever seen, purple and green and gold. I wish to have a serious, private conversation with you, Jon leaned down to whisper in her ear, but that is rather difficult when the walls have such good hearing. She ducked away from him and giggled coyly. He gave her an approving look and leaned down to whisper again. Good, you understood my meaning. The beach has almost no ears, if your slippers can survive it. Would you show me? She asked for the benefit of the ears. Gladly, my lady, he answered gallantly. He led her and Sir Roland, their softly clinking shadow, over the small pool's stone bridge and down a set of stairs hidden in the foliage. The sand beneath her slippers was warm but not uncomfortable, and they walked for some distance before he asked, "Do you wish to be my queen?"
What the fuck?
My queen! You
She's
are my
queen.
queen!
I mean,
You all
does this
look
count as
weird.
the escalation?
And this fucking counts as an escalation. He
Yes.
hasn't known her for a day yet.
Like he's
Darn, like an
barely
hour.
known her for an hour and he's asking her to be his queen. My
Yeah,
God.
You want to be my queen? Oh shit.
I'm so
Yes,
glad we're
she
going back
answered
to
immediately.
good bad fix, like reading Arabian Nights after this. Because at least that's like, it's understandably bad. And it's like a lot more random. This is just kill me now bad.
He shot her an impatient look. I do not want an ornament or a lickspittle. I want a queen, intelligent and cunning and fierce. An ambitious woman that will support my rule with every tool she has. The weapon no one sees but cuts no less deeply in the defense of our family.
All right, dumbass. Have you known this woman long enough to ascertain whether she is even one of these things?
Nope. I already said yes, John, she said impatiently.
Oh, yeah.
Then she feared perhaps she had overstepped and been too familiar. But he laughed. Very well, Margaery. He returned the familiarity with ease. In return, I vow to be your shield and sword against all comers. You'll be the only woman I know in this life. That sounded so appropriately solemn and northern she had to needle him a bit. What about men? I beg your pardon. I support being the only woman you know, but we are only 15, she reminded him. That seems a bit young to me to settle on a one and only. So what about men? I would be comfortable with you taking a male lover outside of our marriage, should you grow to need a bit of something different. But I would not tolerate you indulging the same with another woman.
Fuck?
What the fuck is this?
Fuck?
What is this conversation?
I don't know.
Hey, she's his queen, so he has to answer now. She's my queen.
My brother would tell you I have never found a girl I liked better than my hair, he snorted at her. By that I mean, I have tried men and I enjoy them. What?
I'm so glad that this is restricted so that most readers will never fucking find this.
What?
Real, you son of a bitch for finding this for you. Fuck, this has broken my brain. That's the escalation. That's the escalation. John is apparently buying this fic.
I think I would be fine if you wanted a female lover outside of our marriage. No men, though. I refuse to be a cuckold as my new father was before me.
Like how
And, of course, we will have to be discreet about such affairs once we are king and queen.
Dude. I like how he's just straight up calls Robert a cuckold.
Yes.
What does he mean? I've tried men. No, he fucking hasn't.
Oh, he's tried, man. This is the fic where John likes
I hate
pee,
this
just
fic.
like
I
Red
hate
Roach.
Earlier, I was okay, having some fun. It was just stupid, but this
Look,
this chapter
he's
is really
bi,
pissed me
alright?
off.
No, you're just being very, very homophobic, buddy.
I do
You
not
against
fear a man.
He's copying it. Oh no. Have to be accepting, okay, Peach? Peachling
Except that I don't like this.
must accept it. Not accept that you don't like this, you must like it and accept that you like it, and then sing its praises everywhere.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh,
fuck.
yeah, I should copy this too and put it on my server as well.
Yes.
No,
This is work.
I read ahead for songs. I mean the fucking femboys. They don't even have that excuse.
Pickle, John said that.
John said that shit. John so
Yeah, Pickle, don't burn your food. Go salvage it.
No, her food isn't burning, it's brubbing.
Yeah, that thing. I don't know how to. Okay, I can't say.
I should probably beg you to choose no one I am related to. A pity, she said lightly. Your sister Sansa is rumored to be quite beautiful. She is a bit of a brat, to be honest. But once she grows out of it, I'm sure she will be breathtaking. She is still holding the end of her tentative engagement to that bastard Joffrey Hill against me from her last raven. From what I understand, he was a true bastard and more than blood, she answered. The gods did your sister a favor, removing him from her life. She set Darling on the sand to play with Ghost. John seemed pleased by her actions and helped her take a seat on a large driftwood log before he joined her. I am surprised by your accepting attitude, she admitted. Of homosexual behavior, I mean.
Oh god.
Wouldn't she say sword swallowing behavior?
I mean, she probably wouldn't say that.
She wouldn't be talking about it at all.
Yeah, good point. But, you know, we're far past that statement
Listen,
holding
I
Fucking
don't know,
yes.
man. I think this story is good. Just kidding. Just kidding.
The North gives no concern to who you love or who you are, he told her bluntly. Men can marry men and women can marry women before the old gods. Though such pairs are often encouraged to set up house together for breeding purposes when necessary. What?
Yep. She retconned the North and the religion.
So you can marry a guy, just find a woman that's married another woman so that y'all can have an orgy to procreate.
I do know that's a thing in China where lesbian and gay couples will marry each other and then live together. At least, like, that's, I think one of my Chinese friends told me that or something. But, I don't fucking know, man.
Those whose outside does not match their inside are safe among the old gods and their followers as well, he told her. I understand that to be an issue in the South, but we do not care what a person does to make their physical self fit their true inner self. As long as they are honest with themselves and those around them, and do what they can as their true selves for the benefit of the community. My head.
He's so progressive, guys. Like, oh my god. I'm gonna post this on Twitter and say this is great.
Yeah, no, not just Twitter, Tumblr as well.
Yeah, Tumblr. That's right.
The North is clearly more socially advanced than I expected, she admitted.
This wouldn't be. They wouldn't be seeing this as like fucking socially advanced. They wouldn't even have that fucking concept. They'd be like, "Wow, that's weird." You know, you do weird things to each other up in the north.
It would just solidify the South's opinion that the North is full of savages.
I hear you Northmen do strange thing to your fellows.
I like how you guys are talking about how this shit escalates every chapter. I mean, this is a bunch of escalation, but not what you expect. Like it went from
Creeps. I feel like
this is not the fun kind of escalation, though.
This is the kind of escalation that just makes you want to go outside, find someone, and just punch them for no reason.
Yeah, Zero. Where exactly do you live in Canada?
I live in the east of Canada.
He almost grinned at her. The North does not talk about such things in Southern company. You are considered unfit. It amuses me that you find us to be savages because of where we live, while we find you to be savages because of how you treat each other. Your religion does you no favors in that regard. That gave her much to contemplate, actually, so she distracted him. Since you have tried it, what is your preference? For a male lover, he clarified. Of course. If he had not just sworn himself to a life of celibacy as a Kingsguard, Sir Roland would have been my preference, John admitted. I prefer my men larger and stronger than me.
So he likes bears.
Me too, she grinned. Are you a giver or a receiver?
Oh no.
So in Roman terms, are you gay or are you straight?
Shit.
This is where the fucking cognitive dissonance comes in. I'm looking at Pacel's comment. I'm a classics major, so I like, you know, it's weird for me to think that other people, like, I grew up reading the things like fucking centaurs. That I can accept. It's like this is like normal for me. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. It's like making guys gay in the middle of the story doesn't make sense. But it's like, except like gay guys and like fucking centaurs and stuff, it's just like flipping sexualities like that. Cream's comment is amazing.
Yes. Pray you die in the coming battle. If the Northmen take you alive, they'll bugger you to death.
But dude, I would find this fic infinitely more enjoyable if they were classical mythology centaurs. And so, like, the minute they leave Winterfell, the centaurs just get blasted and start like fucking everything up, like abducting all the women and shit. You know, that would make an interesting story, like having the actual like historically accurate centaurs instead of this weird shitty fantasy centaur shit.
He flushed scarlet. We will have to know each other much better before we continue this discussion. She laughed with him, but she was concerned. Renly had such preferences too. Do you even enjoy women? What you said about your brothers. I do, actually. I enjoy a woman's delicacy and fine smells, soft skin and beautiful clothing. And I do want children in the future. But I swore to myself years ago that I would father no bastards. It is a vow I mean to keep, and one I cannot break with most men. Most men? What?
What the hell is this?
No! 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 Do not go there!
Some
No!
men can get pregnant.
No.
Yes. Oh shit! I hope that's in here.
Oh,
I really
fuck.
hope that's in here.
I'm so glad we can't stop reading this. I mean, okay, so the tags on this just say discussion slavery, discussion incest, discussion rape, discussion miscarriage, off-screen miscarriage. Doesn't say anything about Mpreg. Of course, it also doesn't say anything about this fic being trash, so we know that this
The
thinking
queen will peg the king as she pleases.
Yes, the fucking iron dildo strap on, the new mark of power for the queen of Westeros. Made out of the melted swords of all the people that Jon got killed on his journey south. All right, this she writes, she's like the fuck I wander
Like you wrote a
upon.
whole story.
That is a comfort, Margaery smiled. It simply means that should we invite a third to our bed in the future, we'll have to be sure you do nothing that could make a child with her.
Her, you know, I feel like Marjorie's gonna like have a devil's three-way going on and just get left alone on the side at this point.
Jesus. I like the next two lines.
Or you with him. Like I said, I refuse to be cuckolded. Like your adopted father.
I like it. They just keep mentioning it. Yeah, Robert's a cuckold. You didn't know. God damn it.
One of the changes I have discussed with the king is expanding the Kingsguard to 27, he said out of nowhere.
Kingsguard or personal harem? I'm beginning to get suspicious.
I'm beginning to think the latter for Jon.
You know, I just realized something. The Mountain is his ideal man.
Oh no.
Ruined me like you ruined Elia.
The faith will not like that, she immediately cautioned. I do not particularly care what the faith likes, he told her bluntly. I have nothing against their gods, all due respect to them. But when I look at their clergy, he shook his head. All I see is the kind of decadence and greed the seven-pointed star specifically speaks
Oh
against.
my fucking gosh.
If they want me to seriously consider doing things their way as king or prince, they are going to have to convert to their own ways first. That is fair.
Kato.
Further, it is about practicality. 7 can guard 1 suitably for all the hours there are in the night and the day. But add an heir or a queen or both, 7 men is simply not enough.
Or whatever, like whatever kind of fucking abomination gets born from a guy getting pregnant. Like, you know, don't forget that that is apparently now a thing in this world. Oh,
Why have an office that cannot achieve the objective it was created to meet? Because it has been that way for almost 300 years, she offered. That was no reason to let a broken thing remain broken. She conceded that with a nod. Regarding the Kingsguard, would you prefer female guards tasked with your protection? Not solely women, of course. I doubt I could find enough female warriors to build you a proper Queen's Guard. But I can think of 2 off the top of my head that I could have brought into the King's Guard for you.
You know,
She thought about that. What?
Making fucking like units of troops to try and do like some stupid gender inclusivity shit. It's not going to work out in the long term. They're going to just like be a fucking massive target, like on any battlefield. You know, it's a stupid idea. Like mixing some women in, like I guess might work. It's still against the themes of the setting. But if you're just gonna make an entire fucking troop out of the same people, just make them gay like the Sacred Band, and say, okay, we're gonna do this and make sure that everyone in this unit is paired up with their lover so that they fight harder. You know, don't half-ass it like this person's doing. I don't know.
She thought about that. Being surrounded by men all the time did get tiring, and men-at-arms were generally a rougher sort than the men she consorted with on a regular basis. Having women around her would be refreshing, particularly women with arms training. They would be quite different from her attendant ladies. I think it would be a comfort to me, she admitted. Then I will make it happen, John swore. Do you have anything against the Dornish? Personally, no. I know my father has bad blood with them because Prince Oberyn broke my brother Willis's leg when he was young. But Willis recovered enough to remain heir of Highgarden, even if he will never be a true knight like our brothers.
Infant's comment also Cremelon, unaware of how Empreg works. I don't know how it works because I've never read an Empreg fic. I just assume the guy's dick explodes.
Yeah, I have no idea. Someone has finally caught on.
It's weird. This the Stockholm syndrome this fic has made me feel for Arabian Nights.
I mean, I don't die on the inside. I get energy from this.
That's because we're dying on the inside, and you love to watch us suffer.
It's not. Look, I have a saying that me and my friend continually tell each other. It's not enough that I succeed. Others should fail.
Like I said, you like watching us suffer. It gives you like a sick, perverse joy. If you were making a true self-insert into like Harry Potter or something, your guy would be standing on the sidelines, making sure that each faction gains ground and then fails, just so that the suffering is maximized across like the entire war fronts.
Funny you should say that.
How do you know Clark's not going to do that?
It's funny you should say that. It's kind of like I'm slowly building up to just fucking with everybody.
I don't know, because like maybe, but
look, the character is based off of me. What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't think you were gonna quite go that direction with Clark. I thought you were
An
gonna
all-female guard in medieval settings where strength is really fucking important is only good for one genre. Hentai.
But I'd watch it.
I mean, have you ever seen Kuroinu? I'm pretty sure that's the entire plot.
Black Dog.
Yeah, I fucking hate that hentai. By the way, I take a sick joy in reading every
Never-
fanfic that just
never
has like an
seen it.
overpowered protagonist.
I've
and
never
slaughtering
actually
them.
watched any hentai, so
How the
the
hell?
closest to hentai I've watched is DxD.
It's softcore.
Sorry.
But moving on, then I will make it happen, John swore. Do you have anything against the Dornish? I've already read that part. What do you know about him, Prince Oberyn? She frowned. Why do you ask? I sent the Martells Tywin Lannister's head, he admitted, and she gasped. And an apology for what Tywin had done to the Princess Elia and her children. Farewell, Ruby, the Demon of Hearts.
Goodbye.
And yes, it is very cursed, Oren.
Oh man, I'm beginning to wish that the centaurs were back. Give me the fucking Monster Musume crossover again.
Jesus Christ.
She
He
shuddered
has
at the
nothing to do
thought.
with this. Stop invoking him, Zero.
Those poor children. When Tywin Lannister's mountain that rides had been done with them, they were said to have been nothing but bloody lumps, ruined beyond all recognition. She had not even stopped to think what the Martells, their mother's family, would think of such a crime. Prince Oberyn and I have been riding since they received by gift and Sunspear, and he would like to meet. I would like more information before I agree, John finished. When I met him, he was polite enough, she admitted, if lecherous and angry at the world. Bit of a chip on his shoulder, I would say. Though then I did not know why. Now I think that mayhap it was related to the fate of his sister. To see her rise so high and then be thrown so low must have been hard. Were her bones even returned to Dorne? I would be furious in his place. Their tomb was on display in the Red Keep, John admitted. It was barbaric. When I got here, I had Elia and her children sent home to Dorne, tomb and all. They will soon rest in the crypts of their ancestors, if they do not already. That was very kind of you, she admitted. It was nothing that should not have been done a decade or more ago. King Robert did not even realize they were still here.
Oh,
He shook his head angrily and refused
don't
to
do
speak
that,
further
Michael.
on the matter.
why must you make me suffer, Michael?
Honestly, I sincerely doubt that. Because
He's dumb, okay? He's stupid.
Robert would not waste the opportunity to gloat over the tombs of dragon spawn. Or rant and rave about whatever he hears about Viserys.
This is something else.
Glad I've built up resistance to bad fics with like 200 edgelord Harry Potter fics.
You should see Ryle's power.
Yeah, Ryle is truly the bad fic connoisseur.
He just I don't know where he gets
I don't know
these.
how he finds them.
He just puts one down and I'm like, wait a minute. What is this? It just gets
I don't know
worse.
how Raul finds all this shit.
He must like it. I can't. I mean, I enjoy it.
Resistance from the endless font of Naruto. Prince Oberyn is good friends with my brother Willis, though you would not expect them to be after my brother's injury, she said to their previous subject. They have worked on several horse breeding projects together, many of which have proven lucrative for both House Tyrell and House Martell. John made a noise like any of that was actually interesting.
What a dick.
Wow. And I think my brother is in love with one of his daughters. I do not know this for sure, mind you, but I do know he has refused all matches he has been offered, regardless of the source or the wealth of the offer, and the only woman he allows in his bed is named Sand. I wonder if I can help with that, he said aloud. Does your father object to the match? To a Dornish bastard? Of course. John huffed a laugh. Is it the Dornish part or the bastard part he objects to most? The bastard, she answered immediately. He could overlook the Dornish part for all the money her father has made our house. Then I can definitely do something about that, John said happily, though I do have something that perhaps you could help me with. It would be my pleasure, my king.
He's my king.
Yo,
Hey, Zero, didn't you
Including our own.
didn't you write a Naruto crossover with Worm?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's one that we all really liked and you never updated. But also Cream also writes Naruto fic, so
You shouldn't talk bad about yourself, buddy.
yeah, are you okay?
He blushed at her, but did not have anything to say to that. I have concerns about the corruption the Lannisters have left in King's Landing. And yet you made Tyrion Lannister Hand of the King. He has seen the problem and has sworn to help me clean it up. He waved her concern off. But it is becoming increasingly obvious that at least a third of the city watch is in someone or the other's pocket. Possibly multiple pockets all at once if they help guard even the Red Keep. Peter Baelish has grown too rich too quickly for a man of such low birth to have done it honestly. And Varys? John shook his head. Varys has told me repeatedly that he serves the greater good of the realm, and on the surface that seems right. But he has sworn as a member of the small council to serve the crown, not the realm. There is a fine line there, she agreed, but I can see how it would be concerning. Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh no. Why, Cream? Or Infant?
Cream,
It wasn't
Infant.
Cream. You can't even
I
throw that.
was
Yeah,
looking
add
at
that-
Cream's comment above it when I said why.
I wonder what Infant is gonna add centaurs to his fic. I'm pretty sure he has long running smut fic going on. There's no cock like horse cock.
Oh,
I know for a fact that Grandmaster Pycelle is a whoring lecher that I will have caught and sent to the wall upon his next visit with one of Littlefinger's whores. But I also have a deep distrust of the faith. I am not demanding you convert to the old ways as my queen. I do not want you to think such as that.
Yeah, fucking John, like meets the seven themselves who reincarnate him and give him a bunch of gifts. Still's like, yeah, fuck the gods. I don't believe in the gods.
Fuck the seven. I don't believe in them.
Like seven save his ass multiple times. Nah, fuck him. It's like there's a difference between being, a dumbass and being smart. John's being a dumbass.
But I do find the way they have been cavorting themselves, especially here in King's Landing, associating with Lord Baelish and the former Queen Cersei Lannister, to be highly concerning. I will help you in all the ways, as I said, John. Help him in all the ways. But I am afraid I am going to need something from you. anything within my power, my future queen.
You're gonna peg him.
Oh God! Why, Zero?
I mean, that's
The
how you
Seven
break
did
the
indeed
faith.
tell him to break the faith.
Yeah.
I am going to need a tutor in the old ways. And, of course, a betrothal contract. Okay.
Yep. Okay. This needs a contract.
Okay. Whatever you say. Moving on. John laughed. If our fathers are not already arguing over the contract details, I would be greatly surprised. As to your tutor, I know the perfect woman for the job. How would you like my sister Sansa as one of your ladies-in-waiting? No.
How is Sansa the best tutor for the old
She's
ways?
not. That's why I immediately said no. No.
Person
What the
is
fuck?
a dumbass.
Arya would be a better option. But
A random gutter person from Winterfell would be a better option.
yes. But like, if he truly wanted the best option, he would send for Old Man.
Old Nan, you mean? I hear this. Old man. I was like, what the fuck?
Yes, John thinks he is in Harry Potter.
He needs a contract.
This has become yet another marriage contract fic.
Wait until next week when we find out that they're actually soulmates. In fact, we're not going to be reading this next week. We're going to be reading something better. It's
The
going to be reading
centaurs
Arabian
will
Nights.
take part in the betting ceremony. They couldn't even say that.
Send Sansa to the Boltons.
Oh,
Ramsay is already dead, so
he's gone. He's out of here.
dead. Oh my, one more.
Ramsay tried to run away from the White Walkers and immediately got killed.
Yep.
Fucked.
The assassin that chilled in the stables for like 2 weeks in Winterfell would be a better option than Sansa. God.
Correct.
It would be my genuine pleasure, Margaery grinned at him and teased. Yes, Pickle, all the villains are literally dead, and the White Walkers have been stalled for another couple of decades.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's like that fucking one Harry Potter fic, Squatter, where they removed the Horcrux in like the first few chapters.
They killed the best chef of Westeros. God. No, I think the best chef of Westeros is Arya with her Frey pies.
What a great season that was, right?
Isn't that pretty much just your fic, Zero?
It was.
Favorite marriage contract fic was one where he was engaged to a female Death Eater and just killed her within like 3 days.
I mean, yeah, kind of like that. You should read mine, Oren.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy mine.
Should read The True Power of Love. It's great.
I show you the exact
Man,
true
people
power
were
of love.
fucking pissed about that fic.
Yeah, that was great. Just seeing the anger.
It's Gary Stew. For red, I don't know. White Walker blue balling Westeros. So John is playing a city buddy with hat. Building with
yeah.
hats.
Why
Yeah,
is
pretty much.
Wink. At least they've only been delayed. In another fic, they kill everything north of the wall at the beginning with a ritual.
Well, I assume we'll have to read that at some point. Does that include the wildlings? Some feelers.
I mean,
Hold on.
everything north of the wall means everything north of the
Just
wall.
fucking launch exterminatus on everything north of the wall.
Everything. The trees, the people, the animals, the others, the
Some may question my right to condemn million souls to death.
Okay. It would be my genuine pleasure, Margaery grinned at him and teased. Does she have any tales of your adventures as a child? From before you settled down and became so respectable.
Respectable, respectable.
Are you sure you wish to travel such a road? He teased her right back. That sword swings both ways, and your brother may yet be hours from joining my king's guard. If not, he will certainly join my retinue. She just laughed at his playful threat. After all was fair in love and war.
Oh,
Time
shit,
to
6
read
comments.
the 6 comments on this chapter.
Oh no.
Sorry,
Okay.
this work doesn't allow comments.
Oh, they must have flamed her.
Sorry, but while the Lord Apathy says, sorry, but while this started off with a lot of potential, by the time Robert declared Jon as a Baratheon and heir to the Iron Throne, I could no longer read this. I know the gods are supposed to be the hand wave needed to justify some of the out-of-nowhere plot contrivances that are happening, but it robs the characters of any self-agency. It's just so forced. But even with the justification, it's unbelievable.
Scroll down.
Let's do it slow.
What's the reply? Sadria Wolf, that's the author. Sorry, but while this comment started off with potential, it left me with only the knowledge that your critique is unasked for and unwanted. I know comments are meant to express your personal opinion, but this is just that, your personal opinion. It is just so rude to force your negativity on other people. Please make yourself aware of the function of the close button. It will greatly ease everyone involved in interactions such as this. As you seem unaware, the close button is the red X in the upper right corner of your browser, and it is typically used when the content found on your browser is unpleasing to you. Wow.
Good God.
Yeah, this person's a fucking bitch. All of her fucking things have the comments turned off, and she has like her army of simps to defend her. It's oh my gosh.
First off, sorry that you have no taste, says Tetramorph. Second, God, the entitlement. Holy shit, do you often go on to Fix and be like, God, I don't like the tropes they use. I need to let them know my negative opinion because it's important they know what I think. Because wow. Third, do you not not understand what the point of fiction is? It's for people to enjoy, and that means the author enjoying themselves. So really, you're out here going, your tastes are stupid to random fucking people thinking that that's like chill? Do you really?
Simp.
Yeah, very much so.
Simps.
Fourth, like your comment is actually garbage from a concrete standpoint. Do you even put any effort into feeding your weird fantasy of turning someone's writing around to fit your personal taste?
Fucker.
I feel like you don't. But no, the plot is not out of nowhere. It's very clearly laid out that the gods did it. It's literally right there. I don't know how easy you find it to interpret things in text, but you really missed the mark on that. Leading on to that, the comments about self-agency of the characters' parts. That one also doesn't apply because the characters who are important are still making choices of what to do with the help they're receiving. And considering the world literally died over the first timeline, why would it make any sense to have the characters struggle when they have literally been given godly mission and blessing to help for the exact purpose of just completely doing away with any part of what happened the first time? Yeah. Do you not understand how gods work? Like, legitimately, this is a common trope in fantasy where there are gods. It's literally old as time. Come on. Forced.
Jesus Christ, this doesn't end.
It doesn't end. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think not being this fixed target audience should be the author's problem. Like, that's a you thing? Maybe learn how to use the back button properly? I'm just saying. Also, lastly, sorry you're allergic to fun because this fic was written in a fun and upbeat tone, and I'm assuming you were put off by that, judging by how you seem to conduct yourself. finally ended. My God.
So, Zero, remember what you said earlier about this fic making you have the urge to go out and punch a random person? Well, I no longer have the urge to punch a random person. I know exactly who I want to punch at this point.
Me?
No, this fucking bitch.
I don't know.
Tetramorph.
Maybe if I said I agree with him, you would want to punch me.
It's yep, it's definitely simp because they have their own little fic written to them by the author of this fic that says for Tetramorph. So they have their army of simps coming by. What a lame fucking shit. As I said, if you're writing for your own enjoyment, don't fucking publish your fic. Alright? Because you're inviting, by putting it into the public sphere, you should be ready and willing to have criticism levied at your shit. Alright? Like, this is just for anyone.
Let's see
It
what
wasn't
other
even a
comments we
flame.
got.
It wasn't. It was like I've seen flames. I haven't received any of myself on my own fic, but I've seen flames, and this wasn't even close. That was like reasonable critique of the fic. Like what we're doing.
So is John a
flaming.
Baratheon, or is he a Stark bastard? Or a Targaryen bastard? This is just too convenient. This is all just too convenient. There's no challenge for the protagonist to overcome. Everything just goes their way. Treasures unearned are thrust upon them at every turn, and most of the characters feel like cardboard cutouts of themselves. Props for getting rid of Cersei, Jaime, and Tywin so hilariously, though. Beautiful car wreck. And getting so offended by criticism is poor taste, and will stunt you as an author. We are not entitled to your words, of course, but neither are you entitled to our admiration.
Damn.
Let's see what her answer is.
It's
Thanks for reminding me to turn off all comments on my fics. I actually forgot. About criticism, why would I want yours? How are you valid to my life? Why would you matter to me at all? What are your credentials? What gives you the right to criticize me after reading over 100K of fic that I provided to the public for free? Do you understand how much effort goes into the plotting, writing, and editing of a story this long?
I know exactly how much fucking effort goes.
And then add in the fact that I did it in the middle of a pandemic. You have 0 works posted. Have you ever tried an endeavor like this one?
Fuck up.
Yes, things were easy for John. And I write feel-good stories. That's it. That's what I do. This is a hobby that I do because I want to read the kinds of stories I write. If you don't like it, there are thousands, if not millions, of other fics you can explore. Please do that and leave me alone. In fact, it would be great if you and every reader even vaguely like you, that is, self-centered and entitled, never darken my door again. In the future, you can try closing stories you don't like the direction of. I do it all the time. It feels great.
No simp answer after.
The only self-centered.
Well, no, because she turned off comments.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She turned off comments in every single fic of hers, by the way. Excuse me for a second while I turn this all copy pasta.
Like, wow.
That was great.
Let's see what the... I mean, we already know what the next chapter is. It's chapters 5 through 8.
Honestly, I don't even know what would change. I'd take this. I'm putting it in midstream. Take it and do what you will to it. Fuck you viewers.
I'm just saying how many, if any, comments are on the second chapter.
None. She turned off
none.
First
chapter. She disabled comments before even getting to chapter 2.
Unless they're on chapter 3. I'll go through the next 2 chapters, but I doubt it. Next chapter, no. Next chapter.
There's a total of 10 comments. So...
And are those all?
One of the next chapters does have comments.
The last chapter. And it's just simps. It's just fucking simps. Just people mindlessly praising it. So...
Yep.
I wish people would mindlessly praise my work. Just kidding. I
Well,
get a ton of those.
You know, that's because you don't just have your fucking simps write you reviews to make yourself feel better.
I want simps.
You have me putting the Vaporeon copy
But you
on your
fucking put
fucking
Vaporeon shit. Like, what even was that?
I was really bored. Yeah, let's
could
see. I think I
tell.
put the Vaporeon. What else did I put? Did I put? Fuck! I put something else in there. Yeah, what it was? All right, I'm gonna. Excuse me for a second.
That was a trip.
I wish I was tripping. Give me a second.
Next week, we'll be taking a break from Breaking the Faith and going back to our old friend Radiant Arabian Nights.
Oh, thank God! I am actually happy to go back to Reading Arabian Nights. Was
Yeah, hey man, you got any of them lists? I gotta get my list fix.
I can't put this on the fucking. I was gonna try and modify the. I write 100,000 words in a pandemic copy pasta for the Daphne Harry fic, but I just realized I think I left a review on that already, so I can't put another review on it yet.
You could sign out.
I could, but I don't want to. I don't want to put that much effort into it.
This is why I like fanfiction.net versus Archive of our own, because
you can't
just turn off comments.
You can turn off guest reviews.
Oh, you can't even turn that off. You have to moderate it.
Yeah, and do it a case by case. Like, I'll let this one through, or I won't let this one through.
Season after, they just let them all through. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Break the dam, release the river.
What? A guest tells me he hates the story. I have like 16 billion other people telling me they love it. If they can give me a reason why.
Ryle,
sure.
If we ever get to the Kami story, I want you to be the one to read it.
Kami story?
Yeah, Kami's story is great.
Oh shit, Kami wrote a story?
No, not written by Kami. It's something Ryle was sharing long ago.
Yeah, the main character is called Kami. Yes.
Ah, shit. Okay, you've got my attention.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well,
on that note,
I'm sufficiently dead inside. Now to kill my inner self even more and play League with my friends.
Why would you do that to yourself?
He asked.
Oh, don't
I wish you all the luck in the world.
They're my bros. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Man.
No, Pickle. It's not. Kami does not have a story. It's a story with the main character named Kami.
I'm pretty sure Kami got banned after writing a story that featured Akane, right? Or some shit like that.
Yeah, he was trying to lewd one of Mir's characters, and she kept telling him to stop, and he kept going, so she banned him. Or he banned him. Why did I call Mir a guy?
Mir's a woman.
Mir is a guy, let me be clear.
Mir is a woman, let me be clear.
Mir is a guy.
See?
Shit, I mean, it's whatever the hell it is. I'm tired.
Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you hear about the next video.
I never want to read a chapter of this fic again in my life.
I will definitely be coming back to this.
It's not worth it if we can't leave comments, is my opinion. If we can't leave our special brand of constructive criticism.
No. Those comments are for Zero streams.
Yep.
That's something unique to his streams.
Fuck this bitch. I hate her.
Anyway, time to end the stream. Farewell, everyone.
See you guys next time.